Okay. I got a lot of questions about Finney and Southern Oaks. Um, I forget the names. Sorry. I'm looking here to see if I can find the names so you'll know who you are. But anyway, you'll know who you are by the questions. Let's see. My wife and I are 50, and we are thinking if anyone at time comes, especially worth thinking, it may wait to go to Spanish Oaks. Didn't even know the place till the video. Well, you know, if you're not here and you don't read the papers every day and you don't watch the video news when it comes out, then there's a lot of information that you don't know. And you're not expected to know. You don't live here. So if you don't have somebody down here that you personally know that can help you out, and you can take a vacation, come down for a week, they can show you around, you can get the updated news, then you're more in tune with how things are going, and you're more in tune of what your wants and your needs are here. So let me go to the questions. Do you think there'll be houses ready to buy there in 5 years? Well, I don't know how far the villages are going to go right now. The reason why it's booming is because the baby boomers are retiring. And I don't think we've gotten to the peak of the baby boomers yet. The village of Finney and Southern Oaks has been approved by the Wildwood Commission for 20,000 homes. I know that sounds like a lot, but that 20,000 number is going to change. There's probably no doubt. It always does. That 20,000 could go to 25. It could go to 30. I don't know. And nobody's going to know. The developer knows, but nobody else is going to know until they want you to know. Will there be a lot of houses in 5 years? I'm sure there's going to be a few down there in 5 years because they're building at Finney and they're coming this way. Spanish Oaks is going to go all the way to Highway 44. Where on the other side of 44 is the end of basically Osceola, even though that's a preserve right there. But that's where the Rohan Rec Center is. That's where there's a new shopping center going in. There's a Publix there now, and they're building a gas station. I think it's a Marathon. I don't know if it's open yet. But anyway, there'll be stuff there. So yeah, Spanish Oak goes all the way up to Highway 44. How much of that's going to be developed with houses? Hard to tell. They put a lot of things in there. There could be a rec center out there. There could be all kinds of, they might set a lot of that property aside for commercial use. So, you know, but 20,000, that's the start. I'm going to say in 5 years, yeah, there'll be some new homes. If you want to buy a brand new home, there'll be some brand new homes available. But I will tell you that the homes in the villages goes up fast. And right now the demand is very, very high. And I expect the demand to be very high for the next few years. So when the lots come available, here's a little secret that a lot of people don't know, unless you've asked, that if there's a lot in a particular area that you like and you want, you can put a deposit on that lot. And you don't have to start construction for 1 year. So it reserves that lot for a year. So if you get within a year of, say, your retirement, or 2 years, remember, you don't have to start construction for a year, but that lot is yours. Now, if you don't start building within a year, your money, your deposit's going to be refunded to you, and they're going to sell it to somebody else because they're not going to hold on to it very long, because right now they can afford to kind of do what they want to do because the houses are in huge demand. Oh, we are not golfers, but more into nature and walking our dogs, and that's why Finney appealed to us. Well, I'll tell you, there is a lot going on down there. What they're going to add to it later, don't know. Is there going to be a dog park down there? I'm assuming there will be, but I've never seen any publications about it. The realtors may know more about that than me, but I do know that over here at Pine Hill and Pine Ridge and Osceola area, right over here on the other side of Morris Boulevard, which is around the Belle Glade Country Club, that whole area right there, They've got a very nice dog park over there. They got a section fenced off for large dogs, and they got another section right next to it fenced off for medium to small dogs. And there's I'm pretty sure there's a walking trail over there. You know, so I mean, there's a lot of stuff there. Just don't put off Pine Hills and Pine Ridge and Osceola area, because there's still a lot of stuff available. 5 years from now, no, there's not gonna be anything available there. It'll be sold out. It'll be full. There'll be a lot of pre-owned homes for sale there, I'm sure. But and like I've said in my past, don't put off a pre-owned home. There's a lot of advantages to having a pre-owned home. And there's one major advantage to having a pre-owned home. Let me see. Question. If you look at Google Earth heading south Morris Boulevard after the light on 44, about halfway between 44 and the turnpike on the left east, there's a large wooded area. That's all going to be Southern Oaks. There's a few people that live along that road. I don't know what they're going to do. They're going to go around those people's houses, I'm assuming. But yeah, Southern Oaks is going to go all the way up to 44. Turnpike on the left in the wooded area. Do you know that is going to be part of Spanish Oak? Yes, it is. Looks like it has the potential to be a very nice open parking area, assuming that they don't bulldoze at all. They're going to bulldoze a lot, but the one thing they can't hardly bulldoze down without special permission is the old Spanish oak trees. They're a protected species in Florida. Nobody could cut them down without a special permit to do that. If you've got a Spanish oak in your front yard, you buy a house down here, these are things that outsiders don't know and you need to know, and you just can't hire just anybody willy-nilly to say, come in here and cut my trees down. Some of these people will, but you're going to be held liable if they catch you. If you've got a trunk 4 inches in diameter or bigger, Spanish oak, then you've got to apply for a special permit to remove that tree. And they'll tell you whether you can cut it down for whatever reasons, maybe it's diseased or whatever, or they'll tell you whether it's got to be dug up by the root ball and moved. Even the villages, when they try to add on a parking lot or put in a commercial area, and there's a big oak tree there, and they want to put a big parking lot in for a grocery store they're building, they got to apply for a permit to remove that tree. And I can tell you the villages has been denied many times about taking down an oak tree, and so they've had to leave an oak tree in the middle of a parking lot because they weren't allowed to remove it. So be very cautious of that when you buy property. If there's an oak tree, a Spanish oak in your yard, because there's a lot of them down at Fenwick, just don't think you can just go out there and just whack on that tree, because you're going to get yourself in trouble. Spanish oaks. In the video you said there's plans to build a golf cart bridge over the turnpike. Did you mean a tunnel? Absolutely not. It was in the paper. I don't know where they're going to be. I mean, if I want to go down there and really look around and ask some questions, I could probably find out. But there's going to be 2 tunnels and 1 golf cart bridge built. I don't think the golf cart bridge is going to go over the turnpike. It could. I don't know. Nobody knows. But they announced in the paper, and it was in the paper, that there's going to be 2 tunnels put in, and there's going to be 1 golf cart bridge put in to connect the communities. And that, which leads me to an interesting, you also got a question on here about being connected by golf cart. See, that's the key to the villages. All the villages has to be connected by golf cart. That's the way it's approved. So anytime they start a community anywhere, that community's got to be connected by golf cart trail to the rest of the villages. So yeah, then they've already announced that they're going to do a golf cart trail. It's going to connect. I don't know where it's going to be. Rumors fly around here like crazy. It could come straight up Morris out of Spanish Oaks and connect there, or Spanish Oaks, Southern Oaks, and connect on Morris Boulevard down there by Osceola. They may run that highway around to Buena Vista over here and run a golf cart trail up to Traverse Shopping Plaza. I made a video about it yesterday. It hasn't come out yet, but it will be out in the next few days. And they may connect you to that Traverse Shopping Center. And if they do, then that's going to connect you to the tunnel that brings you straight over to Brownwood. I don't know. Nobody knows. It's just a bunch of guessing game right now of what they're going to do. But yes, that village down there, the village of Southern Oaks, the village of Fenny, and who knows what else we're going to build down there. That's all going to be connected to the rest of the villages. That's the deal. That's what makes the villages the villages. And there is going to be a couple of tunnels, by the way. I don't know they got put 2 new ones in because there's a rumor going around, and I specify rumor, that this is all cattle land around here, and horses are up around Ocala, just basically cattle. That there's a cattle crossing that goes under a highway somewhere down there, and they've used it for years for cattle to go from one part of the pasture, I guess, over to another farm, to another pasture, you know, it's open grazing. So I heard rumored that they're going to revitalize that tunnel. They're going to go in and probably, you know, redo it or whatever it takes, and they're going to use that tunnel that once was a cattle crossing tunnel as a golf cart tunnel. That could be, or could not be. It may be, may not be. Nobody really knows, but rest assured they're going to connect that with here. The main village is going to be connected by golf cart paths. I think I answered that. Yes. Unrelated. Do you know if you can get insurance on the trailer homes? Most of the trailer homes up there, trailers, and I do specify trailers. There's a difference between trailers and modular homes. The trailers are being bought out mostly by the villages one at a time as people pass on, or they get condemned, or whatever the case may be. And they bought, like, just in the last year, my gosh, I think they bought over 100 of them up there, maybe more than that. And they're tearing them out, getting them out of there, and they're going in and they're building new homes, and they're selling them. Nice area up there. That area's got a lot going for it. It's also got a lot of problems up there too. People that live there will tell you there are not no problems, but if you read the newspaper every day, like I do, the northern area up there has more younger people moving in. Grandpa passes away, the grandson moves in, the grandson causes problems. He brings in a girlfriend, you know, I don't know, it's just a problem. Down here, our deed restrictions has changed a little bit, where those problems should not exist down here. Not near as prevalent as it is up there, because as they build on, they change the deed restriction for the different zones that you're in. I'm in deed 10 here. Hillsborough area is deed restricted area 10, and Osceola and over there I think is 11, and so my deed restrictions might read a little different than Osceola area over there. I guarantee you my deed restrictions are a lot different than it is, say, up around the historical side is what they call it. So know your deed restrictions before you move in, because that could be a big problem for you. You know, so just kind of know, and you'll get a copy of that, no problem. Insurance on the trailers. You know, I don't think it's going to be much of a concern anymore, because they're going to be gone. But now there is modular homes up there. And modular homes are factory-built homes that are brought in. A lot of them up there. There's 2 different areas: Orange Blossom Gardens and I think Orange Blossom Hills. I could have that wrong. Country Club Hills. Country Club Hills and Orange Blossom Gardens. Those are the 2 modular, basic modular areas. Some of the modulars are actually setting up on blocks with a skirt around them. Insurance on them, I understand you can get them, but the insurance companies are getting more and more selective about which ones that they insure, and I don't know what the rates are. And then there's also modulars up there that are sitting on a foundation, well, a slab, so to speak. So when it sits down and they fasten it down on the slab, and then people over the years have planted bushes around it, whatever, it basically looks like a traditional home. And I think getting insurance on that isn't going to be much different than getting an insurance on, say, a stick-built home. But the modulars that are sitting on blocks, I would call an insurance company, just ask them what they think about it. I do know one of the insurance companies down here is State Farm. I wish I could help you on some other ones. I don't really know what they are. You could probably Google it. Citizens Bank is the main financial company here that finances those things. Citizens Bank is run by the villages also. You could probably call Citizens Bank and they'd be more than glad to tell you. I do business with Citizens Bank, and I've never had a problem with them holding any kind of information from me whatsoever. So call them and see what they say. What's your favorite town square and why? I've always said Sumter Landing is my favorite town square. I had a house in the village of Caroline, and we were there for three and a half years. I rented it out in the wintertime because I was still working. It was a patio villa. And for a part-timer like me, the patio villas was perfect. Very low maintenance, didn't cost me an arm and a leg. And our little patio villa was only about a 6 or 7 minute golf cart ride to get to downtown Sumter. And I used to go to Spanish Springs all the time because when I came down years before that to check the place out, we rented places up around Spanish Springs. At the time, Spanish Springs was the only town square there was. And since then they built Sumter Landing. We bought a little place at Sumter Landing area. And Sumter Landing, it's just got a good theme about it. It's got a Key West theme. So it has the pastel type colors. It's got the huge lake. It's got the boardwalk around the lake to walk around. A lot of restaurants are around the lake right there. So if you sit outside, you got a great view. It's a nice hotel down there within walking distance of downtown. And you know, the golf cart stores right downtown. You can walk down there if you're a visitor. If you're in a hotel for a couple of days, you can walk down to the village's golf cart store and you can rent a golf cart for a couple of days. At least you can kind of, you know, cruise around, kind of get an idea of what it is. Panera Bread, it's got one of the best Panera Breads I've ever been to. Huge Panera Bread. They got an outside porch, I'll call it, covered porch, a veranda that wraps around it. They have free Wi-Fi there. There's a Starbucks there with free Wi-Fi. They got a big town square with a lot of room. Some of the town squares aren't near as big as the one at Lake Sumter. Lake Sumter just has an atmosphere about it that I like. And basically also the town square's done. The buildings are filled with businesses. It's done. So what's there is there. You get one or two that'll move out here and there, but then somebody moves back in. So the town is basically full. Brownwood right now is still new, still growing. We've lost one major restaurant. I think I made a video about it. It was way too expensive for a retiree to even be there. They didn't have a happy hour, and here happy hour is pretty much a way of life. You ain't got happy hour, you've done lost half your business right there. But yeah, our town square, we got half, I would say at least, not half, I'm probably exaggerating there, but on the side streets that goes down by Gators, there's a lot of empty buildings there and it's never had anybody in them yet. And people are starting to get concerned. I'm not real concerned. We're only 3 years old. Rent downtown is I assume, a little high compared to being outside of the villages a little bit because everything's golf cart accessible. That's a big deal here. If you go outside the villages a little bit and open up a restaurant, let's say, if it's not golf cart accessible, you're going to lose quite a few patrons just because of that. Not to say you can't do a good business, but you're going to lose a few patrons because of that. But yeah, it'll grow. It'll get there. Right now it's a little slow. They got a lot of empty spots around there that they're building in. They announced here about a month ago. One of the empty spots is going to be a critical care unit. They're in there right now, starting construction on it. I don't know all the details about it, but I do know it's going to be a specialty like clinic for certain types of surgeries and things of that nature. There's also going to be a hotel, I think, kind of around that area where they're building that specialty clinic. I don't know what hotel, but the Villages is building a hotel down there. And I think in the hotel or connected to the hotel, it's been announced by the Villages in the paper that Wolfgang Puck is going to have a restaurant there. I don't know what that is either, but Wolfgang Puck's going to be there. And in the Sumter Landings area, Honest John's Steakhouse is gone. And I don't know the guy's name. I should know it, but I don't. On the Food Network, the guy with the white hair that sticks straight up, and he drives the convertible Camaro around on dives, diners, and drive-ins or something like that. Whatever his name is, and I'm sorry I don't know. He took that building over, or his company did. So he's opening up a restaurant there. I don't know when it's going to be open. They're in there working on it, I think now. So that restaurant's going to be opening there. So yeah, the Villages is still on the move, still on the groove. We're still doing our thing. So hopefully I answered all your questions. If I didn't, hey, just email me your questions, text them to me, put them in the comment section of the video. Doesn't bother me a bit, and I'll try to dig up the information for you. So until then, I'll see you on the other side.